Welcome. Tonight, we return to a place of grandeur, a place of golden mirrors, velvet and powdered wigs, a place where every whisper is measured and every candle burns with purpose. But we are not guests in this world. We are not nobility. We are not dressed in brocade. Tonight, we live a day in Versailles as a servant. We wake in silence. The light has not yet touched the sky. You rise from a narrow cot tucked into a servant's loft behind a paneled wall high above the Queen's corridor. The air is cold. The stone floor beneath your feet is colder. Around you others stir, maids, valets, scullery boys. No one speaks. There is only the rustle of linen, the quiet scrape of buckles. You wash your face in a basin of yesterday's water. Dress in wool, apron, soft shoes. You move quietly, always quietly. Noise is for the court. The servant's world must be invisible. Your first task? Fire. The hearths must be lit before the nobles rise. You descend narrow servant stairs through passages you can navigate blind. Behind tapestries and under beams, you pass unseen. The logs must be stacked just so, ashes swept with precision. You strike flint and coax the flame gently, feeding it with dried twigs. Smoke curls upward into the cold air. The fire cracks. You do not stop to watch it burn. You carry linen next. The laundry rooms are warm with steam, loud with the sound of boiling and scrubbing. You collect stacks of folded sheets, each marked with a noble crest. Back through the maze of passages you go, delivering fresh bedding, fresh towels. Always silent, always swift. The king's lever begins at precisely 8. You are not in the chamber. Only the highest attendants stand near the royal bed. But you assist from the edge, handing in warmed basins, freshly folded robes, slippers lined in lamb's wool. The nobles chatter. You do not look up. You hear names, the Duc de Noailles, the Prince of Conti. You hear small jokes, forced laughter. The king yawns. You move on. In the Queen's apartments, breakfast is prepared. You fetch trays from the lower kitchens, silver pots of chocolate still steaming, brioche wrapped in linen to hold the heat. You carry them carefully, every step calculated. One stumble, one drop, and your position is gone. The Queen nods as her lady-in-waiting receives the tray. You bow and step back into the corridor. You hear a harpsichord beginning in a neighboring salon. Someone is already rehearsing. Now comes the cleaning. The hall of mirrors gleams by morning. You and others sweep, dust, polish. The crystal sconces catch the early light and scatter it in patterns across the marble. The mirrors are wiped until no trace remains. Footsteps echo. You straighten benches. You pick lint from velvet drapes. You light candles, one by one. In the salons, you clear yesterday's remnants. Crumbs, glasses half full, ash from cigars, a broken hairpin. All vanish into your apron. The illusion of perfection must be restored. By midday, the kitchens roar. You carry messages between cooks and upper servants. You dodge boiling pots, sizzling pans. The head chef barks orders. Spices are measured. Pheasants are roasted. Platters are arranged. You help stack trays, each with care. Then you ascend again, delivering courses through servant lifts and side doors. You do not taste the food. You smell it. Roast duck with orange glaze, almond custard, the crust of warm bread. You sip water. You chew a heel of yesterday's loaf behind a curtain, out of view. The afternoon slows. Some nobles net up, others write letters or pace the halls. You clean again. Silver is polished, glass reset, rugs straightened. You carry a letter to the Queen's secretary. You hear soft voices through a door, and then silence. In the late afternoon, the light softens. You help in the gardens. The formal walks must be swept, leaves collected, fountains cleaned of debris. You walk past rows of hedges, through the orangery. You inhale the scent of citrus and damp stone. The air is sweet here. The sun feels good on your back. You pause briefly, only briefly. At dusk, the palace changes again. Candles are trimmed, lamps lit. The chandeliers in the Hall of Mirrors glow like stars. You prepare the gallery for guests. Tonight, there will be music. You change a noblewoman's shoes. Adjust her gown. Pin a loose curl back beneath her powdered wig. She does not speak to you, but her perfume lingers. Jasmine and rose. The ball begins. You retreat to the upper galleries. From behind a curtain, you watch. Masked dancers move in slow circles. The string quartet plays. Laughter rises, delicate as lace. You see faces you know, altered by powder and shadow. And for a moment, you wonder what it might be like to be on that floor, to glide across the marble, to wear satin gloves. But your hands are rough. Your place is behind the curtain. Later, you clean again. Crumpled programs, empty glasses, wilted flowers, ash on velvet. You gather, you sweep, you vanish. And then the closing of doors, the dimming of lights, the hush returns. You return to your cot. The wood creaks. You lie still. Your body aches. But there is a kind of peace in the silence. The palace breathes slowly, like something alive. Winter comes, and life changes. You rise earlier to light more fires. The cold bites through your sleeves. Water freezes in the buckets. Your fingers crack from scrubbing. The floors must still gleam. The guests must still be warm. You help salt meat, layer herbs between cuts, stack firewood by the back wall. In the laundries, the steam feels like heaven. Snow dusts the rooftops. Ice clings to statues. Inside, the fireplaces roar. Children slip down icy steps outside the chapel. You carry salt. You help them up. At Christmas, the chapel is full. The choir sings, the bells ring. You kneel in the back, behind the columns where no one sees. Spring returns. So do the guests. The halls brighten. Flowers return to the salons. The queen's gardens burst with violets and lilies. You tend them. You cut them. You arrange them in mirrored vases. The year turns. Another festival. Another masked ball. Another set of gloves to wash. You carry wine to the musicians. You sweep glitter from the marble. You fix a broken clasp with thread from your own sleeve. You see a noblewoman crying in an empty salon. You do not ask why. You close the door gently and return to your work. And so the days go. You grow older. Your hands know every drawer, every latch, every warped board. You teach younger servants where to hide when the steward is angry. You share bread. You mend aprons. You hum songs you no longer remember learning. One day, you are asked to train a new girl. She is frightened. Her shoes are too big. You help her lace her bodice. You teach her to step softly. She reminds you of yourself. And still the palace turns. Years pass. You stay. You serve. You carry memory in your steps. You are never painted, never recorded. Your name is not stitched into history. But Versailles knows you. Its mirrors have watched you. Its stones remember your footsteps. Its silk drapes still hold the echo of your sighs. And tonight, you rest again in your small cot behind the Queen's corridor, with candlelight flickering and footsteps fading. The palace sleeps, and so do you.